Is on how to update your Syvecs all-wheel drive controller. In order to update and change the firmware level, there's a few pieces of software that you need to install. Head over to our syvecs.com webpage and then on there go to Downloads, Software. The two pieces of software you need to download is the Syvecs Updater 2.0 and the Syvecs Software Suite. The Syvecs Software Suite will actually take you to our forum where you can actually download the latest level of the S Suite program. Once you've downloaded both of those, install both those programs on the computer, and you should find then you have on the desktop the SCAL programs and the Syvecs Updater program, like I'm showing here. The Updater program is to update the main code firmware level, and the SCAL program is the program used to communicate with the device. Now, if you have a version of the device which doesn't support the live communication currently, like one of the RS3 units from IROS, this video is dated the 11th of March, so units before that will not have the live communication, but fear not, you can update those to actually support that. So the purpose we're going to do first is actually imagine that your unit does already have the live communication software, so we can show users how to actually save and ensure they make a backup of their existing calibration. So let's open up the SCAL software and then device connect to the unit. Now, if you try doing this with an older unit that doesn't have the main code level of the USB support, then it won't connect, it won't find anything. If you obviously have been using it before and connecting to it fine, then all we suggest to do is just go to File, Save, and make copy, a backup of your existing calibration. If you don't already have a calibration already for the device, then you can go to our forums page, and on our forums page, in your drive section, you have got the latest firmware level and the latest base maps. Now, this device that I'm connected to at the moment is on version 1.12. I want to update this to version 1.14. So in order to do that, I'm going to grab the latest firmware, which is here, which is the 1.14, and then I'm also going to grab the latest base map to go with it. Now, like I said, the base maps are there purely for getting a cal on the device, and they do come with sensible values, but if you've already spent a lot of time with the unit you've got, and you've got a base file that's already done, a calibration, for example, that you've just saved, what you can then do is actually go to SCAL. Once you've opened up this base calibration that I've got here, what that will do is that will save the profile onto your computer. So what you can then do is update your existing calibration to that profile level. So you can go Device Disconnect and then go Cal, Change Software Level, and then select All Drive. And the latest one was the 1142. So I've just updated this version of the calibration to the software level 1.14. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to save that and change the file name to 1.14. This then gives you two options. You can either use the base calibration, which is on our forum, or you can use your existing calibration, which you've just up-revved to the latest version, and then you can basically flash that in after. So let's now update the main code on the device. So as I said, on the forum, you can download the latest firmware, which is here, latest firmware releases, download that, and then actually use the Syvecs Updater program to update the unit. You need to connect the micro USB cable to the device, which is found underneath the main connector, and after installing that and plugging it in, we can then find our ENC file, which is here, and once you've done that, we can then go to click Update. Now, as you can see here, it says the device needs to be in a bootloader mode. So what that means is that the unit is already powered up. So what you need to do is actually make sure the unit is not powered up in the car, and then connect the USB to it when there is no power being provided to the main connector. So you can do this just on the bench at home. You don't actually have to be in the car, or you can do it on the car by just plugging in the USB. Once you plug in the USB, you'll see a flash updater connection to the USB, and then when I click Upload, it will update the main code. Once it says successful, you're done and the latest firmware is installed. Now when you go back to your SCAL software, you go File Close and go Device Connect. what you'll find is it will take it out of the bootloader mode and that no calibration is now stored on the device. Now this is an important section. Where it says here generic AWD RS3, what that means is the firmware that you've just flashed into the device is for the AWD RS3. If you've actually got a model that's say for a different car like a Lamborghini Huracan or a Porsche 911, when you try and actually flash a calibration now, it will actually say failed because it won't match the keying of the device. Luckily, obviously we can go to the forum and grab the latest base map for this model of hardware, which is the RS3, and then we can just go load this cal, and then I've just grabbed the latest base map, but this is actually the map that we just updated from 1.12. Click on that, and that then goes into the device. You can see cal good, which basically means that it matches the keying, and you're then online. Once you're online, what we suggest to do is after doing that is just do a reboot of the device by just going, unplugging the USB, and then plug it back in. That clears any flags that have been set when it first connects, and then you can just go device connect again, and you're then connected to the device and online. The all drive state in the top right will obviously say offline, and that's because it's not seeing an RPM from the car. As soon as the car is started and it sees an RPM, then it will go online and all of the calibrations will become active. While you're in here, you can press the F1 button to bring up the help for all of the maps. And this is specifically quite useful for new users. And hopefully that allows you then to get in there and get cracking with your new all-wheel drive device. Hope this video has been helpful.